that they've got those famous black and red stripes, and it's my first time here, and it's everything that I thought it would be. The atmosphere, seeing the kit, the way the players line up and the way the fans react to them. But Liverpool need a big performance tonight. They've got to come out the blocks quick in this game. If they don't come out the blocks quick, AC Milan will get at them, but it's all about the game management and control for Liverpool tonight.
Should say as well that Liverpool are wearing black armbands this evening in memory of Philip Dooley, a Liverpool supporter who tragically passed away after being involved in a road traffic accident in Bergamo on his way to the game, and Liverpool have sent their condolences to his family and friends. Szoboszlai gets the game underway, and Arne Slot with his white shirt with his black armband on in that dugout down below, as the Liverpool coach in his first game in charge in European competition since he replaced Jurgen Klopp. And Liverpool all in black, playing from left to right as we look, just making those two changes as Alvaro Morata, signed from Atletico Madrid, will try and press Liverpool. You talked there with Kelly about, you know, Nottingham Forest at the weekend and how Arne Slot was talking, and teams that sit off Liverpool. Paulo Fonseca, his philosophy, he favours an open game. He will look to try and press Liverpool at every opportunity, the way he sets his teams up.
Well, I hope they do, because then it'll make for an enthralling game. Straight away, AC Milan putting four players at the top of the pitch against Liverpool's backline, trying to press them as high as they can. And that will be a test for Liverpool, because they do like to play out slowly from the back now. And with those two holding midfielders in Gravenberch and McAllister, it's can you try and find those spaces into them? If they can beat that form, that high four press from AC Milan, then they'll get at them quite easily.
Mike Maignan, all in yellow, clears the ball forward along the ground. Teo Hernandez, he does like to get forward from left back, and he combines very, very well with Leao on this near side. Alexander-Arnold will certainly not be able to wander in field as much with Leao, who picks it up now and threads it forward. And Tijani Reinders has made the run in towards the penalty area, and it's a terrific clearance from Van Dijk. The flag is raised on the far side, but Van Dijk wasn't to know.
Incredible block from Van Dijk. The way he gets down, it almost looks like he's going to put it into his own goal. He didn't know that the offside flag has gone up. Reinders went half a yard early. It's a really good line from Van Dijk, because he sees along the line. He sees Konate. He clears the ball and straight away gets back to his feet, turns and looks at the assistant referee and says, put the flag up earlier. But that was dangerous from AC Milan.
We've already had one goal in West London in the English League Cup. That's at Brentford. We've got another at Queen's Park Rangers, Aaron Paul.
And it's the South Londoners ahead. QPR 0, Crystal Palace 1, and Eddie Nketiah has his first goal for the Eagles. Ball drilled in down the right-hand side, and Nketiah first touch, bang, into the bottom corner of Joe Walsh's net. QPR 0, Crystal Palace 1.
Milan are attacking. Pulisic scampering forward. Pulisic enters the penalty area, right-hand side. What a start for Milan! They couldn't stop Pulisic. Raced away to the penalty area, steadied himself, and about 6 yards out on that right-hand side, right-footed, slots the ball past Alisson into the bottom left-hand corner. Milan are off to a flyer. Milan lead Liverpool 1-0.
Well, it's a poor mistake from Liverpool. Quite simple from AC Milan. Maignan gets the ball in the goalkeeper's area. He floats the ball to the right-hand side, and Tsimikas makes the wrong decision. He goes to win the header, and he gets beaten. And it's a simple header inside, and then the 3v1 down the left, Liverpool's left-hand side. Pulisic does incredibly well, because he just waits, and he invites Konate to come across. I don't know why Konate doesn't go. He waits for McAllister to try and recover, but Konate's got no one to deal with. He has to get closer, stays off Pulisic, and he drills it into the bottom left-hand corner. Hard and low, past Alisson. Disastrous start for Liverpool.
Well, in many ways, in these opening 3 minutes, Milan have exposed Liverpool on either flank. They were saved with the first effort on this left-hand side with the offside, but still Van Dijk had to make that goal line clearance. And then, as you say, Tsimikas left in absolutely no man's land. as the red flares have been led off away towards our right.
He doesn't need to go, Tsimikas. He can't go because he's been outnumbered, because if he loses that header, that's exactly what happens. If he's going to go, he has to take the man out. He has to make sure that he wins that header. But it's a tame effort from Tsimikas. There wasn't any doubting or belief in his mind that he was actually going to win that header. It was almost, I'm jumping for the sake of it. Poor decision, Liverpool punished.
Arne Slot, that's not exactly what he wanted on his 46th birthday, for his side to fall behind early on. Theo Hernandez, meanwhile, has come to the side of the pitch and is getting some treatment. I think he's taken a little knock to the face. He's just putting a little bit of a swab to his mouth. And at the minute he's not able to come onto the field of play, but we can't restart anyway because Mike Maignan has gone down inside his penalty area and is waiting for the physio. So the physios at the minute are being overworked here in Milan, who lead by a goal to nil. We'll go to Goodison. Charlie Slater.
Better news on this side of Stanley Park for football fans as Everton have the lead over Southampton with 21 minutes on the clock. Corner kick kept alive by Keane, headed in by Abdoulaye Doucouré. Everton 1, Southampton 0.
Still yet to restart here in Milan. Another goal at Brentford. John Southall.
Brentford have the equaliser. Brentford 1, Orient 1. Schade with the surging run. His shot was saved by Keeley. Fabio Carvalho on the rebound with the overhead kick. First goal for the club. Brentford 1, Orient 1.
Maignan appears to have a problem. Is it with his right thigh?
Yeah, I don't know whether it was that ball that he played out to the right hand side where he's felt his quad straight away, but he doesn't look happy at all. There was no reason to go down to try and slow the game down because we're going straight back to a restart. The Liverpool players, they're all talking to each other now, trying to sort out that situation, why it happened, what the reason was for the 2v1 down the side.
If he's not able to continue, they've got a problem because they're a very experienced number 2 goalkeeper, Marco Sportiello, who's 32 years of age, picked up a hand injury at the end of July, so they've got a 20-year-old goalkeeper in Lapo Nava who only made his debut for the last 2 minutes back in May, still conceded a goal in a 3-3 draw. Or the other alternative is Lorenzo Torriani, who's 19 years of age and was on the bench at the weekend and awaits his debut. But Maignan is back on his feet and the play is back underway with Milan leading by a goal to nil as Tsimikas strokes the ball towards Van Dijk, and after not conceding in his opening 3 games, all of a sudden Arne Slot has seen his side concede against Nottingham Forest and now fall behind early here.
Well, this was one of the problems under Jurgen Klopp, that Liverpool time and time again had to come from deficits in games and try and recruit points, and they did extremely well, but you can't do it time and time again. You've got to make sure that you stay within games, and this now plays perfectly into the hands of AC Milan. Come and beat us, come and try and get back into this game, because as soon as you come up the pitch and try and press us, we'll find the gaps.
It's the first time that Paulo Fonseca, the 51-year-old Portuguese coach who signed a 3-year deal, has come up against Liverpool in his career that has taken him to Roma, Shakhtar Donetsk and Lille. As the ball is cleared by the Serbian defender Pavlovic, Loftus-Cheek tries to drive forward, but the Norwegian referee Espen Eskas has said there was a foul, and Liverpool have been awarded a free kick midway through the Milan half, as there is a haze of smoke hovering underneath the floodlights here in San Siro, away towards our right from all those flares that have been let off in the Curva Sud, away towards our right-hand side. And that's where the incessant chanting and clapping is coming from in this atmospheric stadium that isn't a sellout. You were saying today there was around 20,000 tickets still available today. There are a number of empty seats inside this iconic stadium, but the majority of them are happy with the scoreline. Szoboszlai will win a throw for Liverpool, level with the penalty area, right-hand side. Earlier, Liverpool in the youth team drew against Milan in a goalless draw. We've had a goal here in the early stages. In the Champions League, Juventus 3, PSV Eindhoven 1, Young Boys 0, Aston Villa 3 in our first commentary game. As Van Dijk finds Tsimikas, one of 2 changes made by Arne Slot. As we'll get an update from Old Trafford and Lee Blakeman.
Manchester United nil, Barnsley nil. Barnsley have looked good early on though. A first minute cross that had to be dealt with by Bayendier, and a dangerous Phillips free kick which was flicked away from the 6 yards area. Barnsley looking good, but it's 0-0.
Choice of listening for you tonight, that's on Sports Extra with Ailey Barber and Paul Robinson if you so wish, as this is the Champions League. Tsimikas back with Van Dijk. Both Szoboszlai and Alexander-Arnold have made a run into the penalty area. Szoboszlai's header, I think it was directed towards Alexander-Arnold, but this is the problem. When Alexander-Arnold goes forward, they then leave themselves vulnerable to the counter-attack on this left with Leao.
Yeah, it does, and it's the job of Ryan Gravenberch to deal with that, but also McAllister's going a little bit too high and it's exposing Gravenberch. The one thing that was very impressive with Liverpool in the first 3 games was the relationship between Gravenberch and McAllister sitting deeper. McAllister just seems to be playing a little bit more advanced, and it's leaving Liverpool a little bit light at the back.
That's the voice of Stephen Warnock, the former Liverpool and England international, who's with us here tonight in San Siro. As Salah into Jota. Jota turns inside the inside right channel of the penalty area. Ball runs away from him and goes out for a goal kick. A player who made his Liverpool debut in this competition 20 years ago, Stephen.
I thought you were talking about Jota then, and then you looked at me. Yeah, it was a long time ago. The qualifying stages against AK Graz away. I give you a quiz question, didn't I? The name of the stadium, and you didn't get it.
No.
I was very surprised.
Yeah.
And then I keep everyone guessing on that one as well.
Yeah. I'll give you a clue. Hasta la vista, baby. As Alexander-Arnold's low diagonal ball cut out in the midfield by Fofana. Tsimikas to Gakpo, left-hand side. Gakpo with a cross, headed up in the air by Tomori and gathered by Mike Maignan. Still not running too freely after that problem with his right thigh, as he just holds on to the ball with Milan leading by a goal to 0.
I was interested to see what he would do there, whether he'd throw it quickly and just make sure that he doesn't have to kick it, but he puts it down in front of him and plays a short 5-yard pass.
Milan with the goal scorer Pulisic out to Calabria, the right back. Down the line he goes with Morata. Morata plays it back then. This is Fofana on the halfway line to Tomori. Looking very confident at the moment. Milan in possession, 12 minutes played, leading by a goal to 0 on BBC Radio 5 Live. Little flick there by Fofana, didn't quite come off, but they quickly win the ball back through the French international. Pulisic along the ground. Reinders able to run at the heart of the Liverpool defence. Reinders held up by Konate, and running back was McAllister, back to Liverpool's central defender. Gets away then from Morata and then gives the ball away straight towards Pavlovic, who comes forward. And his ball is tickled through by Pulisic towards Morata. But there was Tsimikas tucked in and sees it back towards Alisson, but very congested.
Yeah, the sharp AC Milan. Liverpool too sloppy. Simple pass from Konate, loses it, quick turnover. The one that was concerning was Gravenberch. Gravenberch loses the ball and there's no one deeper than him. Reinders gets the ball, turns, he's driving right at the heart of the defence, and that's a huge concern. I just don't understand the balance of that midfield. It was perfect for the first 3 games, as I said, when McAllister was deeper, but he's got Gravenberch sat deep, and then he's got McAllister and Szoboszlai a little bit higher, just behind the front 3.
Busy night, Champions League, busy night in the League Cup. Brentford, Leyton Orient, John Southall.
Brentford are ahead, Brentford 2, Leyton Orient 1. Carvalho with the cross from the left-hand side. There was Mikael Damsgaard at the far post to head in his first Brentford goal. Brentford 2, Leyton Orient 1.
So just to put people out of the misery, it was the Arnold Schwarzenegger Stadium.
It was.
Yeah. And in case of not I'll be back, but will Liverpool come back?
They've got a lot of work on their hands tonight, because they don't look the usual selves. They're struggling with the system of AC Milan, and Milan here are coming forward again.
Pulisic out to Calabria, high up on that far side, the right. Pulisic continues his run, feeds it into his path, right-hand side of the penalty area. Red and black striped shirts. This is Reinders in the penalty area, shooting opportunity, blocked by his fellow Dutchman. Van Dijk flags up on the far side. It will be a Liverpool free kick inside their penalty area. But at the minute there appears to be a nice balance about Milan.
Yeah, there does, and it comes from that front 4. It's allowing them to get on the ball and Reinders is picking up some beautiful positions just either side of Gravenberch. If he doesn't get the ball, then Morata steps into that space, and the two centre-backs at the moment of Liverpool don't quite know how to deal with that situation. There's a definite overload from Milan in the middle of the park, though.
The birthday boy makes himself visible in his white shirt in that expansive technical area down below, with his bald head gleaming off the floodlights. Arne Slot, who lost all three of his away matches in the group stages last season, is coach of Feyenoord in the Champions League. 3-2 Atletico Madrid, 1-0 away to Lazio, and a 2-1 defeat against Celtic. And here his team are trailing in the early stages as we've been playing for a quarter of an hour. Van Dijk, Alexander-Arnold in a central area. Liverpool fans trying to make themselves heard above the whistles because Liverpool are in possession. Gravenberch, short forward ball. McAllister out to Gakpo, left corner of the area. Gakpo stands over the cross. It drops. It's kept in. No, it's not kept in play by Salah. Out of play, goes for a goal kick.
Well, that's the first moment of quality we've seen from Liverpool. Lovely ball from Van Dijk. He splits the press of the four players into Gravenberch, who gets the turn, and then he finds Szoboszlai, who then feeds it down the left-hand side. But that was the first time we've seen Liverpool shift the ball quickly and get players beyond the press of AC Milan.
Milan leading by a goal to nil. Gakpo to Jota, out to Tsimikas, far side the left. Szoboszlai making a run forward. Jota level with the penalty area, passes the ball back to McAllister. Now it's with Gravenberch, he goes square. Konate, forward ball. Szoboszlai plays it back to Gravenberch, along the ground out towards Tsimikas. Infield now to McAllister. Milan keeping their shape though very, very well at the moment. This is Van Dijk waiting. Back out to Tsimikas. McAllister's gone on ahead of him. Gakpo wanted it to feet on the left touchline. Back towards Van Dijk. Switches play to this near side. Alexander-Arnold 8 yards in from the right touchline. And Liverpool at the moment still playing in front of Milan. Forward ball. Jota now finds Salah. Salah inside the penalty area. Hits the crossbar with a right-footed shot. Comes out. Gakpo pulls it back. Tsimikas with a shot off target. Goal kick. Goal at Old Trafford. Lee Blakeman.
Manchester United 1, Barnsley 0, 17 on the clock. Rashford into the area right side. Good first touch. Beat his man. Buried it into the back of the net. Manchester United 1, Barnsley 0.
Goal elsewhere at Goodison. Charlie Slater.
Where Southampton are level, 32 minutes on the clock. Charlie Taylor with a free kick, left-footed outswinger towards the back post. Harwood Bellis heads it down into the turf and into the net. Everton 1, Southampton 1.
And Bayern Munich lead Dinamo Zagreb by a goal to nil in the Champions League. Liverpool so close to an equaliser. Stephen Warnock.
Yeah, they've come to life from that ball through to Gravenberch. It changed everything. It just became a little bit more belief in Liverpool. But the one thing that they were in that last attack was patient. They just waited for the right pass. They waited for an opening, and they fed it to Mohamed Salah down the right-hand side. How often have we seen him come inside on that left foot? Well, this time he doesn't. He drags it onto the right foot, and he crashes a shot against the bar. Arne Slot down below has applauded. He was happy with what he saw, because that is the best we've seen of Liverpool in the first 16-17 minutes of this game.
They lack that type of penetration against Forest at the weekend as well. They created a couple of chances in the first half. By and large, they were through Forest mistakes, with Yates dawdling and then Diaz going on to hit the post, and the goalkeeper from Diaz's looping header. Second half, with the exception of a Salah shot saved by Sells at his near post, didn't really create too much. But there, that patient play was almost rewarded.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing that the players are going to have to learn. Also, the crowd are going to have to learn, both at Anfield and away from home, is that it might take an extra pass. It might take an extra 4 or 5 minutes to score a goal. You don't have to score on every single attack. It's trying to wait for the right moment, the right pass to arrive, and it will, because players switch off, they get fatigued. But that was better from Liverpool.
That goal incidentally disallowed in Munich, so Bayern 0, Dinamo Zagreb 0 is still the scoreline. Milan have been awarded a free kick almost midway through the Liverpool half. On the right hand side, it's hoisted in. Leao gets his head onto it, then it's headed out by Van Dijk, the Liverpool captain. Comes out to the Milan skipper Calabria, tries to chip it into the penalty area, but Alexander-Arnold and Konate between them get it to Szoboszlai. Switches play now out towards that left-hand side to Gakpo. On the halfway line, bounces off his chest. Tsimikas is going ahead of him. Liverpool playing from left to right, all in black, but trailing by a goal to nil in the Champions League. Live on BBC Radio 5 Live. Radio Merseyside also taking our commentary here this evening. Forward ball, Gakpo, left corner of the area, turns, back heels the ball. Tsimikas now with a cross. Salah waits just over his head. Calabria heads it clear. Alexander-Arnold drills it in low, blocked. And now Calabria playing as a left back at the moment to Pavlovic, and they will get it clear eventually. But again, a nice little move, wasn't it? It had you purring from the cross from Szoboszlai, and then the Tsimikas cross as well. Gravenberch wins it back. Szoboszlai edge of the area, breaks down, and Reinders will bring it clear for the home team, who lead by a goal to nil.
You just get the feeling that Liverpool need to be a little bit calmer in the final third. They get a little bit overly excited, the pass goes a little bit too quick. If they take that extra touch, you feel that the openings will come against this AC Milan side. But lovely play down the left from Gakpo, a little back heel to Tsimikas, and that was where his heart rate got up a little bit too quick, and he overhit that cross into the middle, and it wasn't really a difficult cross to put in. But Liverpool now starting to dominate possession in the last 5 minutes.
Liverpool have failed to score only 7 occasions in their last 48 games in European competition. And it's the Liverpool supporters high up in the gods away towards our left, who we can now hear inside San Siro. Just over 20 minutes played. Bayern Munich are now leading, and guess who's got the goal? Harry Kane. What an excellent start he has had to this season. Bayern 1, Dinamo Zagreb 0. And there's been a goal at Deepdale in the League Cup. Betty Glover.
Preston have taken the lead against the run of play, despite Fulham knocking on the door with a host of chances. It's Ryan Ledson who opened the scoring, fired his shot into the bottom corner just inside the area. It's Preston 1, Fulham 0.
Blackpool 0, Sheffield Wednesday 1 is the latest score as well in the third round from Bloomfield Road. So Sheffield Wednesday are ahead against Steve Bruce's side. 21 minutes played in the Champions League. This 8 o'clock kickoff, where Liverpool are still trailing, but certainly signs of encouragement.
Yeah, they certainly are. They're just calmed themselves down a little bit now. They're starting to rotate a bit better. Szoboszlai coming out onto the right hand side. Trent Alexander-Arnold now coming into the middle. Big switch of play.
High ball. Calabria sliding in and catching Gakpo. The Norwegian referee spotted that, and he's given a free kick, and he's shown a yellow card as well to the Milan captain, who pleads his innocence, but the referee's having none of it. He had a good view of it, and Calabria gets the first yellow card.
Yeah, I think he's claiming that he won the ball, but it's possibly studs up going through the player as well. The follow through, endangering the player. He's furious though, the AC Milan captain, and so are the fans behind the goal, incensed by the decision. But he goes through Gakpo's ankle to win the ball. He feels that the ball went in a certain direction, but it did because he kicked through the player, and that's a sore one for Gakpo on his left ankle.
He's no stranger to a red either, Calabria. He was sent off twice last season, and he's still complaining about the decision, that it was a yellow card all day long, and it gives Liverpool a free kick left-hand side of the penalty area, 2-3 yards up from the byline.
I know why he's moaning a lot, because he knows he's made a mistake and he's trying to prove a point to his manager that he hasn't dived in. I've been there, done it. You know you've made a mistake. Honestly, it's the way you react to things.
The voice of experience from Stephen Warnock here on BBC Radio 5 Live. Liverpool with a free kick. Alexander-Arnold flicked it. Konate with a header. It's his 4th goal for the club. All 4 have come from his head, and he brings Liverpool level inside San Siro, 1-1.
Well, that's why he's furious as well, because he's cost his team a goal. I don't know who's marking Konate. He gets a free run and jump. Magnon, he runs into Tomori, he clashes with Tomori, and they come together and it allows a free header, but it's a lovely ball in from Trent Alexander-Arnold, the perfect weight. It invites the keeper to come towards it, but it favours the big centre-back. He wants it more than the goalkeeper, wants it more than Tomori, big towering header. The goalkeeper flaps at it. Poor goalkeeping, and Liverpool get themselves level.
And certainly when we said that Liverpool would be encouraged by the way that they'd played in the last 5 minutes, it's yielded a goal, and deservedly so, the way that they've performed lately.
Yeah, they have. They grew back into the game, and AC Milan with another mistake here. You just wonder what their reaction will be to this, with Liverpool calming themselves after conceding an early goal, but they started to get a foothold of the game. Better possession, better passes, more progressive passes as well.
Liverpool, who've won all 3 of their games in the Champions League inside this stadium, 2 against Inter and then against Milan in the group stages in 2021, now on level terms for this new league phase, for this revamped competition. Going to be hard to see how it's going to pan out initially, and actually it was a question I posed to Arne Slot last night, because in the old group stage that had been obviously, it was introduced in 1991, wasn't it? But by and large, if you won your home games, you got your 10 points, it would see you through. You could get a gauge of how teams were doing in those 6 games. But now they play 8 games out of that one single league of 36 teams, and we're going to have to try and find out what is going to be a par, given time, as we get used to this new league phase in the Champions League. Half-time in the early kick-off in the League Cup. Stoke City 0, Fleetwood Town 0. Charlie Adam on his return to the Potteries, and we're level here in the Champions League at 1-1. Although Arne Slot did point out that on one occasion he qualified with 6 points, so...
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those games in the final 2 games were dead rubbers, weren't they, in the group stages, and like you say, we don't know what to expect from this. Hopefully it brings more excitement, hopefully it brings the games in the final stages more interesting. Liverpool have broke here.
Pulisic caught in possession by McAllister. McAllister to Jota.
Oh, it's greedy.
And Jota fires wide from a very good position, left-hand side of the 6-yard box.
Not good enough from Jota, has to square it. Gakpo is furious, and rightly so. A simple pass from McAllister on the overlapping run of Jota, and Jota picks his head up and he wants to shoot, and he shouldn't. He should just pass it along the floor, along the 6-yard box, and Gakpo's got an open goal. That is a wasted opportunity, and Arne Slot turns round, looks at the dugout, and he shakes his head, because he knows that is the big opportunity for Liverpool to go ahead.
Milan appear to be struggling at the moment.
Yeah, they can't get used to the turnover of possession in midfield, and Liverpool now are starting to dominate in forward areas.
Alexander-Arnold picks out. Salah shoots left-footed. All of a sudden, Liverpool have created, I would say, 4 chances in about a 9-minute period.
Yeah, and what was Liverpool's biggest problem before was McAllister playing high alongside Szoboszlai, but the midfielders now from AC Milan, in Fofana and Loftus-Cheek, they're switching off and they're finding gaps in behind them. The concern is, though, is that when Liverpool lose possession and it turns over, they are still susceptible to that counter-attack, and that will be a concern for them.
Reinders left of the centre circle, back to Tomori, one of 4 ex-Chelsea players in this starting lineup. They've got another one in Tammy Abraham, who's on the bench on loan from Roma. Liverpool supporters in good voice. 1-1, BBC Radio 5 Live, BBC Sounds, and also live on Radio Merseyside.
Interestingly now, McAllister has gone and stood on Reinders, so whenever Reinders goes into a position, McAllister will go with him. If Reinders pulls away to the other side, then Gravenberch will pick him up. They've realised that Reinders is the one finding the space, and now he passes him on to Gravenberch, and he picks up the other midfielder stepping in. So that balance now out of possession is a lot better for Liverpool.
And that tactical insight from Stephen Warnock is one of the reasons why you'll see him a lot on your television screens this season, not just on Match of the Day, but also with the Champions League highlights on BBC One tomorrow night at 20:11. Stephen will be a regular on that, so you'll be able to watch all of the week's goals for every Champions League week on BBC One, 20:11 tomorrow night. But for the live coverage, as always, BBC Radio 5 Live at the heart of it, and there is no substitute for being there. Tomorrow night we're at the Etihad, and then We travel to Bergamo for Thursday night. Atalanta against Arsenal. And at the weekend, Liverpool-Bournemouth is our 3 o'clock commentary in the usual goal service. Crystal Palace, Manchester United, Manchester City, Arsenal. So much live football to look forward to. Gakpo wriggles free, accelerates, shoots, parried by Maignan, comes out to Salah, Salah shoots, he's hit the crossbar again. It's just not his night. Left-footed, rising effort, back off the crossbar again. Second time this evening. Milan are fortunate.
Brilliant from Gakpo down the left-hand side. He leaves 2 Milan players for dead. And Calabria, he can't go anywhere near Gakpo because he's been booked. He drifts past him and then he fires a ball across goal. Maignan pushes it out to Salah and then he drives it, crashes it against the crossbar. I actually thought the pullback from Szoboszlai was there for him and it would have been an easier chance, but such is his confidence, Salah, in front of goal. He feels like he can take anything on. How's he not scored tonight?
I know. He'll be hoping it's third time lucky. 41 goals he's scored in the Champions League. It's the most by any player for an English side. As here is Ruben Loftus-Cheek, former England international. Number of years now that he's not played though for the senior side, as he ran forward, looked towards Leao. And when you think back to the early stages of the game, Milan were having joy on the left with Leao, Pulisic on the right, but at the minute it's all been Liverpool. Another goal at Brentford, John Southall.
Brentford 3, Leyton Orient 1, Christian Norgard, great strike, 14 yards out into the bottom right-hand corner. Brentford 3, Leyton Orient 1.
5 live here in Milan. Alexander-Arnold with a throw on this near side, the right. Jota tries to hook it on. Pavlovic has gone with him. Fofana's been caught in possession. Salah now will run forward. Salah making a diagonal run. He's got Gakpo out to his left, and it was a back heel by Calabria, who did just enough.
He's given a foul then. He's given a foul in midfield for the pull on the shirt of Mohamed Salah. It was a great decision from the referee, one that he spotted. Salah was off balance as he went to play that pass, because that was a dangerous attack. Clever foul from Fofana, one he had to make.
Youssef Fofana, who's now been shown a yellow card, the second player to be booked for the home side, with 14 minutes to go to half-time. He joined on a 4-year deal from Monaco in the summer. 23 caps for France, defensive midfielder, and he goes in the book of the Norwegian referee. Mo Salah's name reverberates around San Siro from the travelling support. 13 minutes to go to half-time, 1-1, but Liverpool are on top. They have a free kick, it's 30 yards out from goal, fractionally right of centre. Alexander-Arnold places the ball down and now takes 4 steps back. Tsimikas is also there. Szoboszlai's walked away. 2 in the wall for Milan in their red and black striped shirts. Alexander-Arnold hits it low and cleared by Morata by the penalty spot, and Alisson will collect it inside the centre circle.
Yeah, a little bit of a waste from Trent Alexander-Arnold. We know he's got great quality, but it would have taken a wonder strike from that distance for him to beat the goalkeeper.
Half-time now at Goodison, Charlie Slater.
Everton 1, Southampton 1. Everton in front after 20 minutes from Decore's header. It was a set piece at the other end that drew Southampton level. Taylor's free kick, Harwood Bellis headed home. Both sides need something to smile about, and they're playing like it. Everton 1, Southampton 1.
McAllister almost got Jota through the middle, stopped by Pavlovic. Now Milan will come forward. Loftus-Cheek has overrun that though. It allowed Canate to come across and to clatter the ball away and out for a throw. Half-time at Queen's Park Rangers, Aaron Paul.
QPR 0, Crystal Palace 1. Eddie Nketiah's first Palace goal separates the sides, played in down the right by Eze. Nketiah drilled a shot across the face of goal and into the bottom of the net. QPR 0, Crystal Palace 1.
And we'll stay in West London half-time. John Southall.
Where Brentford lead Leyton Orient by 3 goals to 1. Orient opened the scoring with Brendan Cooper tucking in at the back post. Didn't last long. 6 minutes later, Fabio Carvalho with an overhead kick levelled things up. Mikel Damsgaard added a second. Then right on half-time, Norgard finished into the bottom right corner. Brentford 3, Orient 1.
Liverpool attacking again. Jota to Tsimikas. Tsimikas will win a corner. We'll get half-time from Deepdale now. Betty Glover.
Preston going to the break with the lead. Fulham couldn't clear their lines and the ball fell to Ryan Ledson, who hammered it into the bottom corner in the 36th minute. Completely against the run of play, Fulham was starting to take control of the game with Wilson and Sessegnon having shots blocked. At half-time it's Preston 1, Fulham 0.
Liverpool are having so much joy at the moment.
And they're having all the joy down AC Milan's right-hand side. Calabria, who's been booked in the first half, booking that led to Liverpool's equalising goal. He's getting tormented down the right because he knows he can't tackle now, he can't dive in. They got a 2v1 with him there and exploited him, and Liverpool get themselves another corner.
The referee's just having to quell something in the 6-yard box. Maignan coming under pressure from Van Dijk. They're trying to protect their keeper from the Liverpool captain, who is being crowded out by a number of players. So a corner on that far side that Alexander-Arnold is going to take for Liverpool. 1-1. Still a lot of jostling and pushing going on. Alexander-Arnold with the corner. In towards Gakpo. Holds it up. Plays it back out towards the left. Alexander-Arnold sweeps over the cross. Loftus-Cheek heads it away. Szoboszlai able to turn. Now towards Salah. Hits it in field. And there was Fofana. And he gets it out to this left to Theo Hernandez. But it goes out of play off the legs of Salah. Let's go to Old Trafford. Lee Blakeman.
2-0 to Manchester United. Anthony won the penalty, had his legs taken by the keeper. Rashford was going to take it. Anthony said, leave it to me, and he put it in the bottom corner. Manchester United 2, Barnsley 0.
And Bayern Munich, last season was their first trophyless season in 12 years, where they're leading Dinamo Zagreb by 2-0 in the Champions League. Still no goals between the holders, Real Madrid and Stuttgart, Sporting and Lille. Also is goalless in Lisbon, and half-time at Bloomfield Road in the League Cup. Blackpool 0, Sheffield Wednesday 1. 10 minutes to go to half-time. This is the Champions League. This is BBC Radio 5 Live, and Maignan looks for a ball right down the middle.
He's injured again. He's gone down again.
Well, he went down. I think it's his left leg on this occasion.
He just caught his ankle. He trapped his ankle as he kicked the ball there, the goalkeeper, and he's signalling to the bench as well that he's got a problem here.
Well, that's a different problem, because it was his right thigh earlier, and now it's his left ankle, as you say.
Yeah, well, as he kicked the ball, I watched him, and his left ankle collapsed from underneath him, and he went down straight away, because I was watching him to see what the reaction would be to his thigh, kicking a longer ball, and he's actually damaged his ankle now. Whether that's overcompensating, worrying about his thigh, I'm not sure, but he does not look happy at all.
Well, he had problems last season, did Mike Maignan, with injury, and he's certainly having an unfortunate time of it tonight. As a result, both coaches are taking full advantage with an unexpected drinks break here in San Siro, with 9 minutes to go to half-time, and it's 1-1 between Milan and Liverpool. Of the 36 teams who are competing in this new phase, all that one league, 15 of them have previously lifted the trophy, and these two here tonight are certainly are among the 5 most decorated clubs. Real Madrid, Milan, Liverpool, Bayern Munich and Barcelona in terms of lifting that illustrious trophy. Milan have won it just one more occasion than Liverpool, with their 7 successes, the last actually against Liverpool, of course, in 2007. 2 years after that epic comeback in Istanbul for Liverpool to triumph on penalties. Mike Maignan has had the treatment and looks like he's going to be able to certainly get through to half-time with 7 or 8 minutes to go to the break. But there will be a lot of added on time, I would suspect, with the injuries that he's had to deal with tonight. Bayern Munich have got a third. Michael Olise has scored, so Bayern Munich 3, Dinamo Zagreb 0 is the latest score. Juventus 3-1 winners against PSV earlier, and in our first commentary, Aston Villa beat Young Boys by 3-0 in Bern. Here is Pavlovic, shaven-headed Serbian defender, hits it long downfield. Tsimikas heads it forward. McAllister controls it. Early ball towards Gakpo. Gakpo runs away from Fofana. Does well actually to hold on to the ball under pressure. McAllister to Tsimikas. McAllister barged over, fell awkwardly on his shoulder, slowly but surely getting up to his feet now. Liverpool work it out towards the right. Alexander-Arnold midway through the Milan half to Salah on this right touchline. In his suit, the dark-haired Paulo Fonseca, whistling and trying to bark out the orders. But because of the deafening noise with the Milan supporters That'll be falling on deaf ears. Gakpo shoots from distance, and Mike Maignan makes the save.
He's having a real influence on the game now, Gakpo, picking up some lovely positions, drifting inside, asking Tsimikas to go down the outside, and then as he drifts inside, he picks up that ball, turns, gets a shot in from 25 yards out. Difficult shot to take on, but we've seen him score plenty of them in the orange colour of the Dutch national team. Perhaps not so many for Liverpool from that distance, but one of the other things I'm noticing as well, Dano, is Szoboszlai's position. He's drifting out onto the right hand side. Trent Alexander-Arnold's going a little bit more inside. Salah's going a little bit more narrow. Leao switching off for the AC Milan left hand side, and it's allowing a 3v1 down this right for Liverpool, so something to keep our eye on there.
That's the voice of Stephen Warnock on BBC Radio 5 Live as the former Brighton and Coventry striker Victor Gyökeres has scored in Lisbon. So the Portuguese champions Sporting are leading Lille by a goal to nil. Lille are actually one of the opponents that Liverpool will face later on in this single league phase, when the French side come to Anfield. I think it's in January. Here is Loftus-Cheek for Milan. 1-1 out towards Leao. Slot wants every Liverpool player back. Leao comes in field. Calabria beaten to the ball by Gakpo. Fofana tries to win it back. Jota then dispossesses him and takes charge. And Jota now finds Salah. And Salah to the edge of the area. Onto his left foot. Salah with a shot. Maignan with a save. Low down to his left. One-handed behind for a corner kick.
Blistering attack from Liverpool. Gakpo at the heart of it again. Releases Jota. And Jota leaves two AC Milan players in his wake. He just strides away from them so comfortably, then just clips a ball into Mohamed Salah. He kills it deftly with his thigh, allows himself to run onto it, and then he gets Pavlovic 1v1, nips inside on that right foot, on the left foot, and then he drags his shot near post, tries to catch the goalkeeper out, but a smart save down to his bottom left-hand side from Maignan.
Tsimikas to take the corner kick. 4.5 minutes to half-time. Near side the right. Once again Maignan under pressure. Tsimikas with a kills it in. Van Dijk! Brilliant header by Van Dijk. It was a pinpoint delivery by Tsimikas. Van Dijk in front of the goalkeeper, powerfully directs it into the back of the net. Liverpool have come from behind. Two close-range headers. They lead by 2-1.
Yeah, two headers and two centre-halves who've won the headers. The giants for Liverpool at the back, and they score the vital goals. Both headers unmarked. This time it's Loftus-Cheek. He's the wrong side of Van Dijk. He can't get anywhere near him. Van Dijk uses all his strength just to hold him off, and he bullets a header into the top corner. The great thing about this goal, though, is the delivery from Tsimikas. He doesn't try to blast it in. He just floats it in, knowing Van Dijk will get the run on them AC Milan players. But it's zonal marking from the Milan players, and they can't get anywhere near Van Dijk. And this game's flipped on its head.
Certainly has. It's his 24th goal for Liverpool, and when he scored previously, they've won all 21 when he has found the back of the net, and certainly Arne Slot will hope that that is the case here this evening in San Siro. Angel Gomez, incidentally, has been sent off. The recent England international has been sent off in Lisbon. So Angel Gomez dismissed, and Lille are down to 10 as they trail by a goal to nil. Salah wriggling away from Theo Hernandez, plays a low ball in. Milan are fortunate that Liverpool aren't out of sight already.
Yeah, they are, and Salah's been an absolute pest down this right-hand side again. He just wriggles his way through, causes more problems for Milan, but Liverpool are just dominating this game in terms of possession now.
Tsimikas has just had a snapshot. It was a first-time effort. It was a swinger really off his right foot. It was always curling away off his weaker foot, away from the left-hand post, and it went out for a goal kick. It had Mike Maignan scrambling a little bit, but Milan will just want to try and get into half-time without conceding another, as they trail by 2-1. But Liverpool, after a slow start, have been swamping the Italian side. Calabria coming forward. Pulisic, who gave Milan the lead, loses out to Gravenberch, just filling in again. Gravenberch over on that left-hand side. Out it goes for a throw, level with the penalty area. 2 minutes to go to half-time. Liverpool 2-1.
Yeah, he's learning that role extremely well, Gravenberch, understanding when Tsimikas or Trent Alexander-Arnold comes out of position. That's then his job, to track that runner, to track that deep lying run, to make sure that he covers and sweeps up. Excellent work from the Dutch midfielder.
Ball swept out to Leao on this near side. Nice control first time. Looks to turn and get away from Alexander-Arnold. Delivers the cross. Trying to get forward was Pulisic. He's saying he was being impeded by Tsimikas. Referee had a good look at it. Let's play continue. Liverpool now can break up towards Jota. And then the ball goes back to Van Dijk on the edge of the area.
I have to say, Deno, outstanding defending at the back post, because all he does is just uses his body, and the reason Pulisic goes down is because he's trying to get in front of him, but he just knows he can't, and just uses his body to ease him out of the way. Outstanding defending from Costa Tsimikas at that back post.
Stephen Warnock knows what it's all about. Coming in, tucking in and covering as a left back.
Do you know what, it's one of the hardest skills, and you'll see it with so many defenders. They struggle with that back post ball. I struggle with it so much in my career, because you're so worried about where that man is, and you're trying to use your arm to feel for them, but he did it so well there.
Here is Reinders. There's no width on the right at the moment. He has to go back to Calabria. Infield now to Fofana. Forward ball. Loftus-Cheek tried to cut it out to the left for Leao, but Alexander-Arnold with the interception. Salah gets away from Fofana. Forward ball on the stretch with Szoboszlai. A little bit scrappy there in the midfield, and then the ball is just drilled away by Alexander-Arnold.
Arne Slot demanding his team get up the pitch, compress the space. He's desperately wanting his team to get higher up the pitch.
5 minutes of added on time. I expected something in the region of that, with Maignan going down a couple of occasions in this first half. So we're into the 5 minutes of added on time here on BBC Radio 5 Live, as Pavlovic, with a sign from Salzburg in the summer. He played all the games at the Euros, including that one against England for Serbia. 23 years of age, 40 caps, so he's getting plenty of experience. Simon Kjær has been released. Giroud has moved to the MLS. They've lost a lot of experience in that Milan dressing room. A number of leaders as well during the summer. Stefan Pioli dispensed with. Paulo Fonseca will soon come under pressure, bearing in mind that they only got their first win of the season at the weekend against the newly promoted Venezia. They're already 5 points off the leaders Udinese. And here, after taking the lead, have seen it all turned around, as Stephen Warnock says, flipped on its head here in Milan. As Szoboszlai collects the ball forward of the centre circle, tries to nudge it out towards Salah. Theo Hernandez breaks it up. Liverpool try and win it back and succeed. Early ball by McAllister. Tomori sliding in to block that ball towards Jota. Goes out of play for a throw on this near side. Another goal at Old Trafford in the English League Cup, the Carabao Cup. Lee Blakeman.
3-0 to Manchester United. Good build-up play this time by Marcus Rashford. Laid it off for Garnacho, who stabbed it across goal into the bottom corner, and that will just about see us to half-time too, Ian. Manchester United 3, Barnsley 0.
Here is Leao. Leao running forward for Milan. He's got Pulisic away to him, and Konate stops the run. Howls of derision from the home support, because they felt that Konate had fouled Leao. But Konate, no wonder he's getting high fives from Gravenberch and Van Dijk. He just had too much pace and strength for him.
Well, Leao passed Konate, who had a swipe at the ball and completely missed it. Then Leao ran away, and Konate's recovery run was quite sensational. And how powerful was he as well? Brushes the big winger aside, can't get anywhere near him, shoulder to shoulder, pushes him to the floor, much to the dismay of the AC Milan fans. But that was great defending from Konate.
Liverpool leading by 2-1. Here is Gravenberch, lets it come across his body into the centre circle, then shields the ball away from Loftus-Cheek, back to Konate, passes the ball forward to Alexander-Arnold. Liverpool playing with a menace. Tomori has to head it away, comes out towards Szoboszlai, down onto one knee, out towards Alexander-Arnold, as the flags, the giant flags, numerous flags are flying away to that right-hand side in the Curva Sud, as Gakpo steadies himself and shoots, and Maignan makes the save. Liverpool have created chance after chance in this first half. Maignan with a flying save.
Well, the two wingers of AC Milan, Leao and Pulisic, they don't want to defend, and it's allowing Liverpool 2v1 down the right and down the left. Lovely switch of play from Trent Alexander-Arnold out to Gakpo. The overlapping run from Tsimikas is superb. It allows Gakpo then to drive inside. No one coming anywhere near him. He thinks, why not? I'm going to have a pop. Tries to bend it into the far right-hand corner. Good goalkeeping.
They scored with a corner on this near side from Tsimikas. They'll be looking for Van Dijk once again. It's another in-swinger. Maignan punches the ball away with both hands. Hooked back by Szoboszlai, edge of the area. Comes off the head of Calabria. Flags up on this near side. It'll be a free kick to Milan in stoppage time. Stoke City, incidentally, are leading Fleetwood by 1-0. That's a 7:30 kickoff in the Carabao Cup. Stoke 1, Fleetwood 0. But in the Champions League, Liverpool are leading by 2-1 here in San Siro. But you think that Salah's twice hit the crossbar. Maignan has made at least 2 full-length saves from the top of my head, and the scoreline could be much more convincing. Here is Leao on the left, level the area. Alexander-Arnold, he's got to try and get past. Alexander-Arnold stands up to him, gets a foot into the challenge, out of play it goes for a throw.
I think the big thing is, Deno, you were at Anfield at the weekend against Nottingham Forest. I watched the game. Liverpool, they flattered to deceive. They were poor in front of goal. They didn't create much at all. Well, we've seen the complete opposite, and this has been an AC Milan team that have had to sit back because they've had no option to. So straight away, he wanted a response, Arne Slot. Well, he's got it today.
He certainly has. As the half-time whistle is sounded, I mean, he was asked questions about that last night. He said it wasn't about the lack of rotation. He just said too many players didn't reach their levels. Well, after a slow start, Liverpool certainly have found their level, and they've taken it to a different level against Milan. They've come from behind after Pulisic early on gave Milan a third-minute lead. Liverpool, after about 17 minutes, have created chance after chance. Salah has hit the crossbar twice. Konate's header after 23 minutes, and then that Van Dijk header as well. 4 minutes before half-time, and deservedly they are ahead.
Yeah, they are, and Arne Slot would have been watching the first 2 minutes and thinking what a disastrous start this is. But his team settled themselves. They found the rhythm, they found their shape, and they got more organised in the latter stages of the first half. It took around about 15 minutes for Liverpool to find the rhythm in the game, but then from that moment on they continued to dominate possession, created opportunities, and they found themselves ahead at half-time.
So half-time in San Siro, AC Milan 1, Liverpool 2.
Ian Dennis and Stephen Warnock watching on at the San Siro. And Stephen, such a turnaround for Liverpool in that first half. Did we see maybe the concerns and the promise of what Liverpool will look like under Arne Slot?
Yeah, we saw the concerns in the first 2 minutes, as Deno was alluding to in the commentary. They struggled down the left and right hand side. The first one they got away with down the left, where Leao went, Reinders went a fraction early and they caused a problem. Down that right hand side they scored the goal from Pulisic, but those situations didn't occur again after that happened. So they got punished for it, but then they've learned from the mistakes. The balance in midfield has been a lot better, the pressure on the ball, but also in possession, just the positions that the players are taking up. AC Milan really struggling to deal with Liverpool's shape.
Stephen and Ian, thank you very much. We'll be back at the San Siro for second half commentary of that game, with Liverpool leading Milan by 2-1 at half time. Earlier this evening, Aston Villa beat the Swiss champions Young Boys by 3-0, and we'll hear from Unai Emery very shortly. Real Madrid and Bayern Munich also in Champions League action, and Rob Butler's been keeping across all the other scores in the competition across Europe. Hi Rob.
Yeah, thanks, Kelly. And no issues in the first half there for Bayern Munich. They lead 3-0 at home to Dinamo Zagreb. Harry Kane with the first goal on 19 minutes from the penalty spot. That's his 30th Champions League goal. And tonight he's equalled Wayne Rooney's record for most scored in the tournament by an Englishman. Rafael Guerreiro and Michael Olise scored the other 2 Bayern goals. The holders, Real Madrid, well, they're playing Stuttgart at the Bernabeu, and it's 0-0 there. Elsewhere, Portuguese champions Sporting are up against Lille in Lisbon. 1-0 to the home side in that one. 1. Ex-commentary man Victor Grikesh scoring in there. And Lille are down to 10 men as well. Fresh from his first England cap, Angel Gomez has been sent off in that one. Earlier on in Turin, Juventus beat PSV Eindhoven 3-1. Former Leeds United midfielder Weston McKennie, he's a USA international, he was amongst the scorers for Juve. That's you up to date, Kelly?
Rob, thank you very much for that. And we can also get up to date on the 7:45 kickoffs and some of the key matches in the League Cup this evening. Let's start at Goodison. It's Everton against Southampton. Charlie Slater's watching.
And it's 1-1 with 6 minutes played in the second half. Southampton have started the brighter of the two as Aribo tries to put a ball into the box here. Both of these sides desperate for something to build on to take back into their faltering league form. But at the moment, still 1-1.
At Loftus Road, watching QPR against Crystal Palace. Aaron Paul.
QPR 0, Crystal Palace 1. Palace still leading through Eddie Nketiah's first goal for the football club. And it is Nketiah who had the better of the chances, or the best of the remainder of the chances, because there was only actually one more in the second half. He fired a shot in towards goal, in off the left. It was blocked by his own colleague, Daniel Munoz. QPR, they've come out to attack in this second half. Elijah Dixon-Bonner has come off. Keita Dembele on in his place. QPR 0, Crystal Palace 1, Rangers on the attack.
And watching Preston against Fulham, it's Betty Glover.
Preston still leading 1-0, Kelly, despite Fulham having most of the possession and control. Preston's Ryan Ledson fired them in front of first half strike that landed in the bottom corner. Fulham do look dangerous, but they've just been struggling with that final ball. Preston 1, Fulham 0.
And at Brentford Leyton Orient, John Southall.
Brentford leading by 3-1. Remember, they had to come from 1-0 down. Now pretty much in control. Goals from Carvalho, Damsgaard and Norgard finished just before half-time from the edge of the penalty area. All pretty comfortable at the moment. Brentford 3, Leyton Orient 1.
Elsewhere in the EFL Cup, Stoke lead Fleetwood by 1-0. It's Blackpool 0, Sheffield Wednesday 1. And as we heard, Manchester United 3-0 up at home to Barnsley at half-time. Second half coming up from Milan, where it's AC Milan 1, Liverpool 2 at half-time. Commentary from there, and we'll hear from Unai Emery after Aston Villa's win. First, though, here's the news on 5 Live with Nick Hatfield.
The voice of the UK.
And the home of the Premier League.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Thank you, Kelly. Good evening. 9 people have been killed and almost 3,000 injured after electronic pages used by Hezbollah fighters exploded across Lebanon. The militant group has blamed Israel and promised revenge. Israel hasn't commented. Our security correspondent, Frank Gardner, says a new batch of pages was recently delivered to Hezbollah.
It took really timely intelligence to know that this batch was coming and where it was, and it took the technical capability to insert the high explosive inside it. This was military-grade high explosive. I've spoken to experts on this. They think it's something called HMX, probably 10 to 20 grams. Somebody, and everyone assumes it's Israel, but Israel is not commenting on this, somebody got inside the supply chain.
Prosecutors in New York have charged the rapper Sean Diddy Combs with racketeering and sex trafficking, saying he abused and threatened victims over decades. Combs' lawyer says he'll plead not guilty. Instagram has announced new accounts for children aged 13 to 15 to try to protect them from harmful content. Privacy settings will be switched on by default, which only parents can change. The Liberal Democrat leader, Sir Ed Davey, has closed his party's annual conference in Brighton by promising to offer a positive alternative to what he calls the Labour government's doom and gloom. He also urged Sir Keir Starmer to take action to prevent a winter crisis in the NHS. And a partial eclipse of tonight's full moon should be visible across the UK from the early hours of the morning. It's also a supermoon, so it should appear larger and brighter than usual.
Hello, I'm Nihal Arthanaika. Headliners. We go deep with the biggest names in entertainment, culture and the arts. And I'm not trying to boast here, but look, it is what it is. Huge guest, the comedian's comedian, Stuart Lee.
I was going to be a stand-up comedian, but I would be different to the others because I would only tell the truth.
Headliners with Nihal Arthanaika. Listen on BBC Sounds.
This is 5 Live Sport.
The Champions League with Kelly Cates.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
And we'll bring you Champions League commentary very shortly. The second half from the San Siro, where it's Milan 1, Liverpool 2. We'll have Stephen Warnock and Ian Dennis with us very shortly. But there's been a goal at Loftus Road in the EFL Cup. It's QPR against Crystal Palace. Aaron Paul.
I did say Rangers were on the attack. They bagged themselves an equaliser. QPR 1, Crystal Palace 1 at Sandfield with an exquisite bit of skill and a sumptuous finish past Dean Henderson to bring QPR level here. Rangers 1, Crystal Palace 1.
Nothing like a bit of self-congratulation there, Aaron, with the prediction that QPR were going to get their way back into that game. Earlier on, Aston Villa made a triumphant return to the top tier of European football after a 40-year absence with a 3-0 win over Young Boys. And it was even more poignant following the sad news of the death of Villa legend Gary Shaw yesterday. Here's Unai Emery.
We want to dedicate this victory for Gary Shaw, his family, and for all the supporters of Aston Villa, all the family of Aston Villa. And we are going to try to get in our way following in that moment they achieve it.
Give us your thoughts on the team's performance. Young Boys come at you for the first 10 minutes, but then you were sort of in control for the rest of the match.
We were adapting at the beginning of the match as well to the pitch. It was not easy for the players. The control is a little bit different when you are playing a normal pitch. But again, we recovered our positioning and we were controlling the game. Defense as well good. We didn't concede nothing. It's very, very important how we got it. It's respecting the opponent, being responsible, the players, mature, organized, and imposing through it the game.
As Unai Emery said, it was a mature performance from Aston Villa in that 3-0 victory against Young Boys. Tomorrow, our Champions League coverage continues. Premier League champions Manchester City take on Inter Milan. That's a repeat of the 2023 final in Istanbul. It gets underway at 8 and there's build-up from 7. And as we've been hearing, a lot's been made of the new Champions League format and the resulting fixture congestion. Here's their captain, Rodri, on whether player strikes could happen in the future.
Yeah, I think we're close to that. I mean, because it's easy to understand. I mean, if we're asking something, and I think it's something general, I think you ask any player, he will say the same. It's not like the opinion of Rodri or whatever. No, so I think it's a general opinion of the players. And if it keeps this way, it will be a moment that we have no other option. I really think, but let's see. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's something that worries us because we are the guys that suffer. So yeah.
That's one to watch with those comments from Rodri, and there's more on this after 10 o'clock. Also, the Scottish Premiership champions Celtic host Slovan Bratislava in their opener tomorrow. We'll have updates of that one on 5 Live Sport as well. Elsewhere today, St Johnstone have sacked manager Craig Levein just 5 games into the Scottish Premiership season. They're 10th in the table with 1 win and 4 defeats. In the cricket, the County Championship's penultimate matches of the season began today. Somerset and Surrey are chasing the Division 1 title. Kevin Howells was at Old Trafford, where Somerset have been up against Lancashire.
Well, so much at stake in this penultimate round for contrasting reasons over at cricket's Old Trafford today. After opening up the title race last week, Somerset have been involved in a low-scoring opening day away to Lancashire, who are fighting their own relegation battle. 21 wickets fell after plenty of grass was left on the pitch at the start of play. Put into bat, Lancashire captain Keaton Jennings made a half-century. He was dropped first ball of the day, and he stood head and shoulders above the rest as the home side struggled to 140. Somerset little better, gaining only a 6 runs lead on their first innings, and it was a big wicket to take late on, removing Jennings for only 4 in the second innings, closing 16 for 1 Lancashire. That's a lead of just 10 runs. Elsewhere, title leaders Surrey up against a weakened, inexperienced Durham attack of the Oval, closed at 52 for no wicket. They seem well placed after Durham made 262, whilst again at the bottom, Nottinghamshire, currently safe but third from bottom, can thank the opener Ben Slater, scoring 160 in 393 for 6 away to bottom club Kent. More intrigue, possibly more runs than wickets on day 2, over on Sports Extra tomorrow from 10:25.
The Scottish Government is backing plans for Glasgow to host the Commonwealth Games in 2026, and it would be scaled down from when they last hosted it in 2014. They've been given the opportunity after the Australian state of Victoria pulled out over rising costs. In rugby union, Simon Easterby will be Ireland's interim coach in 2025. Andy Farrell is in charge of the British and Irish Lions at that time. And Emma Raducanu is into round 2 of the Korea Open after beating American Peyton Stearns in straight sets. A new episode of the Women's Football Weekly is now available on BBC Sounds. This week, big WSL preview pod ahead of the start of the new season. Manchester City's Vivian Miedema is one of the guests as she prepares to line up against her former club Arsenal on Sunday.
I think for me, football has obviously always been really, really important, but I've only made football decisions based off 2 things, and that's my happiness off the pitch and on the pitch. When I spoke to Gareth last year, I knew the football was going to be fine. And I think if you put 1 and 1 together, me still living in the UK, London is 2 hours away, it was just kind of the perfect step in between. And yeah, so far, as I've said, like I've really settled in on the pitch. I'm starting to get to know the girls off the pitch as well, so that's going to be better for me. But yeah, it was just a 1+1 that kind of made this a very easy decision in the end.
You've got quite interesting games to kind of kick you off, as if you needed any pressure on that. Talk us through your start then.
Obviously, as you say, like ideally, we would have had an easier start than what we're going to get. But I think we want to play in all competitions, so focus needs to be on Champions League as well as the Arsenal game in between. I think the one good thing about the games coming up is that Arsenal are in the exact same position as we are. They've got 2 massive Champions League games as well, and it's tough in the beginning of the season because everyone is just starting to pick up minutes and get fitness in, and you need to be there straight away. Obviously, we played Paris FC with Arsenal last year, so I know that they're definitely not a team to underestimate, and we need to be at our best.
You can hear more from Viv Miedema on the Women's Football Weekly, available now on BBC Sounds. There's been a goal at Preston. Betty Glover.
Fulham have got their equaliser. It was coming, Kelly. Ryan Sessegnon cutting back with a cross that Reece Nelson gets on the end of and taps it in. A goal on his first start for the club. It's Preston 1, Fulham 1.
And we'll have regular updates from the EFL Cup throughout the evening here on 5 Live Sport, right through till 10:30 for all the reaction to those games as well. But our commentary match here on 5 Live Sport is from the San Siro, and you can listen to us tonight alongside the Champions League final score graphics and the video printer. All you have to do to access that is to press the red button or go to the BBC iPlayer or the BBC Sport app and click on Champions League final score. If you want to hear Manchester United against Barnsley in the League Cup, that's on 5 Sports Extra and BBC Sounds. Now though, we can head back to the San Siro for second half commentary of AC Milan against Liverpool with Stephen Warnock and Ian Dennis.
Well, I've got to say your timing is impeccable, Lady Kelly, as Virgil van Dijk leads out Liverpool from the tunnel down below in their change strip, the all black, and doesn't appear to be any changes made by Arne Slot, and why should there be after they dominated that first half and they come from behind to lead by 2-1. So Alisson in goal, Alexander-Arnold, Van Dijk, Konate, Tsimikas, McAllister, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, Salah, Jota and Gakpo.
I thought her timing was impeccable because she came back just as you'd finished your packed lunch, scoffing the sweets.
Nobody needed to know about that, says the man with a jumbo-sized packet of sweets next to him,
which you've emptied,
which I've delved my right hand into from time to time, as Milan are out and there doesn't appear to be a change. But look at Arne Slot with his dark trousers and his white shirt on the field of play, still giving tactical instructions to Gravenberch.
Yeah, very interesting. You don't often see that from managers, but he sort of ran out of the tunnel and onto the pitch. It was almost like he'd forgot to give him some information, or whether he just wanted to reiterate what he'd given him at half-time.
Milan haven't made any changes either. Maignan in goal, Calabria, Tomori, Pavlovic, Hernandez is their defence, Loftus-Cheek, Fofana, Reinders in the midfield, Pulisic, Morata and Leao are the front three. The game's about to get underway. There is the match restarted as we'll quickly nip to Queen's Park Rangers and Aaron Paul.
Palace back ahead here, QPR 1, Crystal Palace 2, and guess who? It's Ibarra as a 25 yards up. He sent a shot towards goal. It's deflected in off Steve Cook and trickled into the back of the net. No celebration from the former Arsenal man. QPR 1, Crystal Palace 2.
Real Madrid are leading Stuttgart by 1-0, and another goal at Old Trafford. Lee Blakeman.
4-0 to Manchester United. Garnacho at the end of the first half. He's got one at the start of the second. Ran from halfway and a cool finish into the bottom corner. Manchester United 4, Barnsley 0.
Commentary continues on Sports Extra. So early on here in the second half, are you still on Mike Maignan watch?
Yeah, he's just gone down again and signalled to the bench. He's not happy at all. I think it's almost like Fonseca knows I can't bring him off because I don't trust the youngster on the bench, and I'd rather have his experience. But from a defensive point of view, if you know you can't play the ball back to your goalkeeper or he's going to be under pressure, it's quite a concern, and he's hobbling about as he's moving here.
Mike Maignan, the French international goalkeeper, 24 caps, as he is all in yellow away towards our left-hand side. Bayern Munich 3, Dinamo Zagreb 1. Bruno Pekovic has got a goal back for the Croatian side. Sporting are ahead against Lille. Real Madrid through Kylian Mbappe. As here,
there's going to be a change.
There is going to be a change. We're going to be seeing the youngster Lorenzo Torriani coming on, 19 years of age, making his Champions League debut because he's been told to warm up. So at the minute he's going through his paces, and there is real concern for Mike Maignan, which not only is that a problem for tonight, but they're actually, it's the Milan derby at the weekend. They play Inter here at the, well, technically they're the away side, but Inter, who've dominated, they've won the last 6 games in the Milan derby. There's never been such supremacy. Here is Gakpo, looks for an early shot, runs through to Jota. Very good save by Maignan, and he's been caught by Jota, and he is slamming his right hand down in pain into the ground because Maignan is in the wars yet again, and this might be the final straw for the French keeper.
Yeah, well, it was also Tomori as well who goes in with Diogo Jota in the challenge, and it's brave goalkeeping, but it was one that Diogo Jota had to go for. It ricocheted into the path, and it's not Jota who injures the goalkeeper. It is actually Tomori. Tomori slides in and he catches the goalkeeper with his studs into his thigh, and the goalkeeper is in a lot of pain. And if he wasn't going to go off before, I'm sure he is now.
Never in the history of Milan against Inter has one side dominated as much, and Inter have won their last 6 meetings. And when they meet here at the weekend, if they don't have Mike Maignan, then that really is going to be a baptism of fire, whether it be Lapo Nava or indeed their other goalkeeper, Lorenzo Torriani. Inter, incidentally, have travelled to England, and there'll be commentary from the Etihad tomorrow night. Ailey Barber presents from 7, Manchester City against Inter. Thursday night, we'll be in Bergamo. Mark Chapman presenting for Atalanta against Arsenal, the 3rd successive night of Champions League coverage on BBC Radio 5 Live, as Dinamo Zagreb have got another goal back. Bayern Munich 3, Dinamo Zagreb 2. Mike Maignan sitting up is still getting treatment as the fresh-faced 19-year-old Lorenzo Torriani is again being put through his paces.
Well, the one thing we have to say is it's a great save from Maignan because he prevents his team from going 3-1 down. So first and foremost, he's brave, he does his job and prevents a goal from Diogo Jota, but it does not look good for him. He's still down, he's still getting treatment, and the substitute goalkeeper is getting put through his paces. And I think it's usually a different protocol, but now we're seeing the AC Milan players signalling that there will be a substitution need to be made.
Yeah, Calabria has made that gesture to the bench, so Mike Maignan is not going to be able to continue. And so what a moment for Lorenzo Torriani, who's going to be coming on. He's just getting a consoling and an encouraging pat on the base of the back by Paulo Fonseca, his coach. And Mike Maignan, they will hope, is able to recover in time for the weekend. And for Liverpool, who have dominated this game, a real chance to to test the untried teenage goalkeeper. Menyon actually can't even stand up at this stage. He's in a lot of pain. They're actually having to help him get to his feet. Calabria hoisting him up from underneath his armpits.
I think there's another side to it. I think he knows that the goalkeeper needs to warm up. So the longer he takes, he allows the substitute goalkeeper now to. He's done a little bit of handwork, but ball work down the touchline. He's had that ability to warm up. I watched him at half time. He didn't even do a warm up really. He just walked around kicking a few balls, and I'm thinking, you've just seen your goalkeeper go down twice in the first half in real pain. Why aren't you warming up properly?
He's got a little look of Kepa Arrizabalaga, hasn't he?
He has, yeah. He really has.
He's tall and lean with his short brown hair. Mike Menyon has pulled over his goalkeeper jersey over his head as he trudges off behind the goal away towards our left. And Lorenzo Torriani, at 19 years of age, comes on for his Milan debut. And he gets a lovely ovation from some Milan supporters in the bottom tier of that towering stand away towards our left, and his first touch is to take a free kick. We'll nip to Brentford. John Southall.
It remains Brentford 3, Leyton Orient 1, but Orient down to 10 men. Jack Simpson's just been shown a second yellow card. Rugby tackling Kevin Schade off the ball. Brentford 3, Orient 1.
What a moment for Lorenzo Torriani. Can't imagine what he's experiencing at the moment. It's not like he's had any time to prepare for it.
Well, he's probably had the first half. He knew that he was going down injured a lot, so it was an opportunity for him. But can you overthink it? Do you worry too much? You're okay, Dano. You're right. Dano's just nearly had a heart attack next to me there.
That was one of the loudest bangs I've heard for a long time. Scared the daylights out of me. Calabria with a cross on the right hand side. I'm actually relieved I didn't say something else. Here is Calabria on the right. Tamori. Milan playing from left to right. Late challenge on Fofana, yellow card for McAllister, the first Liverpool player to be booked. I recall being in Naples a number of years ago with John Murray, and John was jumping.
Was he?
Oh, the fireworks and the firecrackers were going off. All of a sudden, that was my inner John Murray coming out of me.
I thought we were going to need medical help there. I really thought you'd gone.
I should have known, actually. I've been to San Siro a number of times in the last couple of years, and last year I think I seem to recall I jumped that much. I caught my lip mic on my teeth, could hardly speak, but here is Tamori on the halfway line under pressure from Jota. He's going to go back to the teenage goalkeeper Torriani. We'll go to Old Trafford. Lee Blakeman.
It all just jumped up around me here as well, because Manchester United have got a fifth. Marcus Rashford with his second of the night, played into the area left side, can't finish at the near post. Manchester United 5, Barnsley 0.
5-0 to Manchester United. We'll have commentary of their game in the Premier League at the weekend at 5:30 on BBC Radio 5 Live. Crystal Palace, Manchester United live from Selhurst Park after Liverpool Bournemouth with the usual goal service from 3. But this is the Champions League on 5 Live, the BBC Sounds app, and also Radio Merseyside taking our commentary here tonight as we are 9 minutes into the second half, and Liverpool do have an element of control in this game as Tsimikas left of the centre circle. Liverpool playing from right to left as we look. Arne Slot patrolling that technical area, looking very, very relaxed. Back now with Tsimikas. He's made a couple of changes from the team that lost to Nottingham Forest at Anfield at the weekend. Gakpo waits, that's one of the changes for Diaz. The other was Tsimikas for Robertson. Both are on the bench. Only brought 23 out with him. Tyler Morton, interestingly, was one of those players as well, on loan from Hull City. On loan at Hull City rather last season. Here is Loftus-Cheek able to turn, gets away from the sliding challenge of Alexander-Arnold, out towards Leao left hand side. Milan trailing by 2-1, offside, flags raised on this near side. Leao, he's a frustrating player. He's got all the talent in the world, he's got pace in abundance, and yet sometimes he still looks quite raw. And he's 25 years of age now. He should have added something else to his game. as Liverpool are attacking. Gakpo to Jota, back towards Tsimikas. Tsimikas goes for the first time shot, skies it well off target.
It's poor from Tsimikas, because that was a really well worked move from Liverpool. Lovely little interplay between Jota and Gakpo, and then it leaves Tsimikas in the left hand side of the penalty box, and the goal opens up to him on his right hand side, but he hits it high wide with his right foot. But going back to Leao, he's a player who, in that situation, he's got a 1v1 and he looks up and he sees Konate and thinks, I can't run him, I don't know how to run him. But at the beginning of the game, I think he was probably looking at Trent Alexander-Arnold thinking, I fancy this. But Trent won the first 2 or 3 battles with him. That's him gone. Psychologically, it's like, right, I don't know what else I can do, because I can't beat him for pace, so what else have I got to my game?
Well, he signed a new contract last year, a release clause of 175 million. He was heavily linked with Chelsea, of course, as well, wasn't he? Bayern Munich, incidentally, are now leading Dinamo Zagreb 4-2, and another goal for Harry Kane. So that's 2 on the night for him, for Harry Kane. Ball over the top towards Morata. Van Dijk holds him off, heads it away. Morata says he was being fouled. The referee from Norway, Espen Eskaz, with a little wag of the index finger of his right hand, says no, and Liverpool bring it clear on this near side, the left. Gakpo running at Calabria. Gakpo waits, slows it down. Szoboszlai joins the attack. Out towards the left it goes once more. Tsimikas level with the penalty area. Back then with McAllister. Alexander-Arnold in a central area now, so they're completely exposed in that right-back slot, but they're controlling the game so much they can afford it. Ball scooped in field, might drop to Szoboszlai, who turns and shoots just in front of Jota, who might have actually been the better opportunity, and it was a comfortable save for the substitute keeper.
Yeah, it was better for Jota. He was the one striding onto it, and it was on Szoboszlai's weaker left foot, and it would have been a much better opportunity for Diogo Jota. But as you say, Dano, when Trent Alexander-Arnold steps inside, he can do that because the 2 wingers of AC Milan aren't tracking back, and Konate and Van Dijk can deal with every situation. But here comes the danger man for Liverpool, Gakpo again. He's been outstanding tonight.
He's been good, hasn't he, on the left? I was about to say another hat-trick for Harry Kane, but it's been disallowed through VAR. So Bayern Munich 4, Dinamo Zagreb 2 is still the scoreline. Villa earlier had 2 goals disallowed in that 3-0 victory in Bern against Young Boys. Liverpool leading by 2 goals to 1. Fofana forward to Reinders. He actually played under Arne Slot at AZ Alkmaar with the Dutch international. Pulisic searching diagonal ball, taken on the chest by Leao, left hand side of the penalty area with the cutback, and then swept away to safety by McAllister inside the penalty area. Pavlovic picks it up, gets it out towards that far side. Theo Hernandez, his first time cross, comes off the legs of Konate. Reinders with the dark-haired midfielder to Calabria, central area for Milan. Still that noise that hasn't ceased inside San Siro from the Milan Ultras. That's the end that they're attacking as they play from left to right as we look. Leao, though, can't get past Alexander-Arnold. Theo Hernandez back towards Pavlovic, delivers the cross. It's a deep one in the penalty area. Morata brings it under control, goes to ground. Referee says no foul, no penalty, and instead might actually take action here against Morata. He certainly signalled the free kick for Liverpool, who'd actually gone on search of a counter-attack with Jota on this near side, but once again the referee was clear in his own mind and straight away said no penalty.
No, it wasn't. It was a coming together between the 2 players. Morata turns and Gravenberg's already in that space. Cody Gakpo is already in that space, and he turns into Cody Gakpo and he just stands still. Gakpo, he doesn't shift his leg in any way. I think Morata's actually asking for a penalty, but it's neither, and it's a good decision from the referee.
Morata's falling in to Gakpo, isn't he? He's looking for it, and there was definitely no foul at all from the Dutchman. Bayern Munich have got a 5th goal, and Michael Olise has bagged his 2nd of the night as they lead Dinamo Zagreb by 5 goals to 2. This new first phase, 36 league teams, 1 and 2 will be seeded. That means that they avoid each other in the final. 1 to 8, you qualify automatically to the last 16. If you finish 9 to 24, you're into the playoffs. If you feature in the bottom 12, you're out of Europe altogether. And Paulo Fonseca has just been shown a yellow card.
Yeah, he wasn't happy with the decision. He wants something, whether it's a penalty for handball or a penalty from the challenge from Gravenberg. But the AC Milan coach is absolutely furious, but he's also dumbstruck as to why he's being given a yellow card, and Liverpool come down the right-hand side.
Alexander-Arnold nudges the ball past Pavlovic, who gets there first. His clearance straight towards McAllister, bites into the challenge. Milan, though, wrestle the ball away from the Argentine. Fofana showing strong, urged on by this crowd inside San Siro. An hour played. Milan now with Theo Hernandez surging forward at the heart of the Liverpool defence. And the referee standing firm. He's left Fonseca hopping mad down below. Liverpool now come forward. Was that a foul on Gakpo? The referee says no. He's letting the game flow.
Well, if you're going to let one go, let the other one go. I don't mind it at all. I do think the foul was on Gakpo. I think he got doubled up on by the AC Milan midfielder Fofana, who'd already been yellow carded, and Tomori. But that's what I don't mind in a referee. If you're going to let one go, let the other. Makes for a free-flowing game.
The thing is, though, he's actually firing up the Milan crowd, isn't he, as a result?
He certainly is, yeah.
Just over an hour played then on BBC Radio 5 Live. Liverpool are leading by 2-1. Pavlovic chips it short to Theo Hernandez at left back on that far side. Pulisic comes midway through his own half to collect the ball and has got a lot of space. Calabria's gone on a run. Pulisic looks to find him, lifts the ball over the top. Tsimikas quick to close the Milan captain down, and he works it off the legs of the Greek defender, and it'll be a throw down by the corner flag as they attack the end away towards our right, as another flare is let off in that middle tier. Many of those supporters are wearing black. Some are indeed bare-chested on a mild night in Milan in early autumn. 62 minutes played.
Arne Slot's just having a chat with his coaching staff. The game's become a little bit more uncontrolled for Liverpool, and they are conceding possession to AC Milan, and he will perhaps make a tactical change, or whether it'll be a change of personnel. The pressing hasn't quite been the same in the second half. They look a little bit disjointed. They need to get control of this game again, Liverpool.
Here is Van Dijk, under no pressure whatsoever. Passes the ball forward. Gravenberch gives it away. Fofana tried to play an early ball through. Szoboszlai almost released Salah, but Theo Hernandez covered, and Theo Hernandez chopped to the floor inside the centre circle by Szoboszlai. Milan want to take the free kick quickly, unable to do so. Darwin Núñez, you think, might be coming on?
Yeah, just seen Slot having a little quiet word with him, and then took his bib off as he went into the dugout. So wonder whether it'll be Diogo Jota. He's played a lot of football already this season. We know his injury record, so maybe he wants to protect him a little bit.
There are a number of Liverpool players with getting landmarks here tonight. This is Virgil van Dijk's 50th game in Europe for Liverpool. He's already on the score sheet. We've got Diogo Jota, his 150th appearance for Liverpool tonight, and for Darwin Núñez it would be the century up in terms of appearances for the Reds. As here is McAllister, lovely ball through to Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai shielded away from the goalkeeper, tries to dink it in towards the near post, blocked by the substitute goalkeeper, and then Tsimikas pulls it left-footed inside the left-hand channel of the penalty box, wide across the face of goal, out for a goal kick.
Oh, what a ball from McAllister, a little reverse pass into Szoboszlai, but credit to the substitute goalkeeper Torriani. He's out quickly at the feet of Szoboszlai, holds him up, and Szoboszlai tries to dink it into the path of Diogo Jota. The goalkeeper cut it out again. That'll do his confidence the world of good.
Szoboszlai hasn't scored actually since March. 17 games without a goal since he found the back of the net against Sparta Prague. Last night Arne Slot saying he wants more goals from Dominik Szoboszlai.
Flatters to deceive a little bit at times. Szoboszlai great at closing down, and the power of recovery runs running forward, but there's got to be an end product with it, and the assists haven't quite been there, and neither of the goals.
7 goals last season, was actually one better than what he scored in his final year at Leipzig. Fleetwood Town have got an injury time equaliser. Former Liverpool player Charlie Adam, of course, is the manager of Fleetwood Town, so that could be going to a penalty shootout. Stoke City 1, Fleetwood 1, and Sporting Lisbon are leading the 10 men of Lille now by 2-0 in the Champions League. 65 minutes played, BBC Radio 5 Live, and Luis Diaz is one of the players coming on. and also, as Stephen Warnock suggested, we're going to be seeing Darwin Núñez. So Luis Diaz and Núñez, a double substitution in the offing for Liverpool. Theo Hernandez fires over a cross, too quick for Morata as he ran in towards the penalty area. He applauds the cross from Theo Hernandez. It was fizzed in, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a lovely ball in, but Van Dijk knew that he was in a comfortable position. He got goal side of Morata, so it wasn't really a huge problem for him. But AC Milan just finding it a little bit too easy to get out from the back now from Liverpool's press, and perhaps that's why Arne Slot wants to introduce the two players coming onto the pitch in Núñez and Diaz to make sure that they can press properly.
Still not safe, the 3 points, is it? Far from secure.
No, not at all. And I think that's why Arne Slot's making those changes. Well, here they come again, Liverpool. Chance.
Szoboszlai, all of a sudden it's 3 against 2. Szoboszlai finds Gakpo. Gakpo away to the penalty area. Crosses towards Szoboszlai. And Szoboszlai guides it in right-footed. It's his first goal in 18. And Liverpool will surely ensure it's a winning start in Europe for Arne Slot. They take control. They now lead by 3 goals to 1.
It's a turnover in possession in midfield, and Liverpool counter-attack so quickly. And Gakpo, he looked like he was running on empty, but he just slowed the defender down, Pavlovic, and then he stepped on the burners, and then he just glided past him, and then it was, can you now pick out the right pass? Can you find a teammate? He finds Szoboszlai, and he just guides it into the far right-hand corner, just kisses off the post as it goes in. But surely now that should be Liverpool with the 3 points. Lovely counter-attacking move from Liverpool.
Certainly was, and even had Szoboszlai missed it, Salah was at the far post totally unmarked, and he was just waiting for that opportunity. It didn't arrive because Szoboszlai with his first goal to end that bit of a barren spell, and Gakpo is going to be coming off, Jota is going to be coming off, and certainly Gakpo has had an influential night.
Yeah, he's been very productive. I think more so that he hasn't had too much game time, where he's probably fatigued a little bit, but the energy levels that he's put in. Jota, always a menace, always someone who plays on the shoulder, makes life very difficult. But also one of the things that happened, Deno, when Liverpool scored then, the bench were off on the feet. They were all hugging, all embracing Arne Slot. They knew how important that goal was.
His first start of the season, and he's had a very good night, Cody Gakpo. And Milan, trailing by 3 goals to 1, are going to be making a double change. We're going to be seeing Tammy Abraham, who's going to be coming on, and looks like Everson as well is also going to be coming on, who they signed from Tottenham.
Well, Calabria has just gone down, Deno, so that perhaps is why one of the changes is being made. Yes, he's been booked, but he's also picked up a knee injury, so you expect Emerson to come on in that right-back position as the captain of AC Milan is helped back onto his feet by the referee. He'll leave the pitch very soon.
So Emerson and Abraham, 2 more familiar names going to be coming on, but for Paulo Fonseca, he's chasing a lost cause. We're midway through the second half on BBC Radio 5 Live. It's going to be Loftus-Cheek who's going to be coming off for Tammy Abraham, one former Chelsea player for another, and Calabria, who has picked up a knock, being replaced by Emerson, who made just over 100 appearances in his 3 seasons at Tottenham at right back, and Harry Kane has got another hat-trick as Bayern Munich now lead Dinamo Zagreb by 6 goals to 2, and Stuttgart have equalised at the Bernabeu. Real Madrid 1, Stuttgart 1, Sporting 2, Lille 0. Bayern in full control, as are Liverpool here in San Siro, and it's going to be another victory in San Siro. Liverpool, the only side to have played more than once at this iconic stadium to hold a 100% winning record in the competition. 4 wins from 4, it would appear to be the case, as Núñez on the right-hand side plays it back, right corner of the area. Alexander-Arnold waits to deliver the cross. all in black. Liverpool playing from right to left. Just over 20 minutes remaining.
That's the difference there, where Trent usually would have put that into the box and hoped to find someone. That's the game management. That's slowing the game down and saying, do you know what, we need to put this game to bed. And sometimes that's by not scoring another goal, it's by keeping possession.
Luis Diaz to McAllister. Tsimikas joins the attack, left-hand side, delivers the cross. Hernandez leaps to head the ball away inside the penalty area. Liverpool look to win it back, but Morata was fouled midway through his own half, and it will be a free kick to Milan. And so Liverpool, who are competing in their 49th season of European competition and their 28th in Europe's elite level, looking to get off to a winning start. Bearing in mind they've got games against Bologna at home and Leipzig away before Xabi Alonso brings his Bayer Leverkusen side to Anfield. Liverpool will be looking to try and give themselves a solid platform to prosper in this new format. Incidentally, that Bologna home game will be their 250th fixture in either the European Cup or the Champions League, as Tomori hits a hurried ball, a blind ball first time. Alisson is quickly out, he's giving it straight towards Abraham, who hits it low, didn't get the elevation from this right touchline, or indeed the direction, and it allowed Konate to clear inside his penalty area.
Well, what a mess that could have been for Alisson. He could have cost his team there, and AC Milan could have found themselves back in the game by a mistake from the goalkeeper. He does so well to read the situation. Well, you know how good Alisson is at reading the game, but then sloppy pass into Tammy Abraham. Maybe him just coming off the bench a little bit rusty, but it was a difficult angle for the English striker to get the ball in at goal.
18 minutes remaining then. Liverpool leading by 3-1. Back it goes to Alisson. He wondered what sort of night it was going to be after Pulisic had put Milan ahead after just 3 minutes. But really, Alisson hasn't had a great deal to do other than that, to pick that ball up out of the net at that stage. As Nunez can't keep the ball in play, it'll be a Milan throw over on that far side, the left. Reinders comes forward, up towards Leao. Leao running now at Konate. He'll get past Konate with ease. Enters the penalty area. Brilliant. Superb defending by Gravenberch.
Absolutely
running back,
brilliant.
Sliding, diverts it behind for a corner.
Yeah, that is what you need from a holding midfielder. That ability to understand, I need my teammates getting beaten here, I need to get across quickly. That ground that he covered, he's been arguably Liverpool's player of the season very early on in the first 5 games. He's been outstanding in that position.
He sensed the danger, he dealt with the danger. As Milan have a corner kick, far side the left, pulled out towards Reinders, shoots right-footed, always off target, always going away from goal. Goal kick with 16 minutes remaining of normal time. As Gordon Smart will be coming up after 5 Live Sport at 10:30. But this is just the first of 3 successive days of Champions League coverage, live from inside the stadium. San Siro, the Etihad, and then we go to Bergamo for Thursday night, Atalanta against Arsenal.
So are you staying? You're staying for Bergamo?
I'll travel to Bergamo.
Yeah, so you're going to be in Milan for a few days. Have they asked you on the catwalk yet, or they asked you to do anything?
They haven't got a catwalk strong enough. Charlie Slater's at Goodison.
Everton 1, Southampton 1, heading for penalties. Everton led through Doucouré. Southampton equalised thanks to Harwood Bellis. 2 teams that can't buy a win at the moment. Couldn't find a winner in the Cup either in normal time. 1-1, shootout to come.
And we'll keep you in touch with that. Also, we'll let you know how that shootout's going between Stoke and Fleetwood after it finished 1-1 after 90 minutes. And at the minute, been a number of Stoke City 1, Fleetwood have missed another one, so it looks like Stoke are ahead in penalties in the early stages. Didn't actually say a score, but there is a live text service on the BBC Sport website.
You did well reading that, Dano.
Yeah, 1-0 to Stoke. I was actually ahead of the curve. Tsimikas with a corner kick on the right. Header over the top from Darwin Nunez. I think what I can gather, my eyesight's not the best, we've got to read small text. I think they missed the first 2 penalties. Fleetwood missed another. Stoke have then scored 1-0.
Yeah, Gary Flintoff is nodding away there, so you've got that right. Well done.
Yeah. Bayern Munich 7, Dinamo Zagreb 2. Harry Kane with 4 goals from the penalty spot with 12 minutes remaining. 7-2. And Harry Kane scoring 4 of them. Michael Olise has got a brace. Liverpool here 3-1 up as Tammy Abraham picks up that ball on that left-hand side. Abraham runs away, cuts it back to Leao, now in a central area to Morata, back towards Leao, works it across towards Emerson, right corner of the area. Emerson in field to Morata, weak effort. Didn't really strike it with any sort of power right-footed. It was curling low away from goal, out for a goal kick. Liverpool 3-1.
Yeah, I think he was saying he tried to play it into Pulisic and he didn't look happy there, Morata, but I think he just caught between 2 decisions, whether to play it into Leao or whether into Pulisic, or whether to have the shot at goal. But AC Milan have made changes. They've gone with both Morata and Tammy Abraham up front. They've got still on the pitch Leao and Pulisic, and they're causing a few more problems, a little bit more direct in the way that they're going at this Liverpool team. But they have to open themselves up, and now Liverpool counter again.
Could be more goals here for Liverpool. Salah's forward ball, Darwin Núñez enters the penalty area, and he tried to strike it on the run. Tomori matching him stride for stride, comes off the legs of Tomori, and behind it goes for a corner kick to Liverpool, who lead 3-1. Another goal at Old Trafford in the League Cup. Lee Blakeman.
6-0 to Manchester United. Fernandes with the cross from the left side of the area, put it at the near post by Eriksson this time. Manchester United 6, Barnsley 0.
Commentary on Sports Extra. Stoke have beaten Fleetwood 2-1 on penalties.
Very close. You said 3-1, did you?
I just said there had been a number of missed penalties. I'm trying to multitask here. There's Alexander-Arnold with a Crystal Palace have won 2-1 at Queen's Park Rangers. That is a result. QPR 1, Crystal Palace 2. So Palace through to the 4th round. Liverpool, they play West Ham next week in the League Cup. Alexander-Arnold with an outswinging corner from the right-hand side. Pavlovic heads it away, comes a little bit off at a right angle, and Teo Hernandez at left back will clear long. Blackpool have lost. They've made an exit. Sheffield Wednesday are through. They won by a goal to 0 at Bloomfield Road as Tsimikas passes the ball back to Alisson. Alisson just puts his foot on the ball midway through his own half. Liverpool comfortable. Let's get news then of that Palace victory, Aaron Paul.
QPR 1, Crystal Palace 2. Palace progressed to the 4th round for the first time in 5 seasons. Eddie Nketiah broke the deadlock with his first Eagles goal. Sam Field equalised early in the second half for QPR. But Eberechi Eze's deflected effort was enough to seal the win for Oliver Glasner and Crystal Palace. QPR 1, Palace 2.
Tsimikas fouled by Morata. Free kick to Liverpool. Morata isn't happy. Liverpool are going to make a change. Alexander-Arnold is coming off, and Joe Gomez is going to be coming on. So Joe Gomez will get a run out here for the last 11 minutes for Alexander-Arnold, who gets a very strong ovation from the travelling Liverpool support. He's being helped on his way by Fofana, which he reacts to, doesn't take too kindly, and then as he looks up high to the gods, he applauds the Liverpool travelling support.
Yeah, he's done extremely well tonight, Trent Alexander-Arnold. It's a substitution that Arne Slot has made in a few games now since he's been at the club, where he takes off Trent Alexander-Arnold. I think it's to preserve him, just to make sure that he's got him fully fit for the rest of the season. Brings on Joe Gomez, arguably defensively better in 1v1 situations because of the way that AC Milan have changed their system. They're almost cheating in those wing positions, so it'll allow Joe Gomez to defend against Leao.
I did wonder whether we might see Federico Chiesa at some stage tonight, given the fact that Liverpool are leading by 3-1. He's not fit enough to start the 90, Arne Slot said last night, but nevertheless it's an opportunity maybe to give him some valuable match minutes.
I really wanted to see him. I want to see what he can do and how fit he is and how hungry he is. He spoke with great delight when he joined Liverpool, real excitement about the move to the club, so I'd like to see him at some stage.
That was a foul on that far side, and a yellow card has been shown to Konate for the foul on Tammy Abraham, 6 yards inside the Liverpool half. Milan have a free kick. Full time at Brentford, John Southall.
Brentford 3, Leyton Orient 1. All the goals in the first half. Cooper gave Orient an early lead, but goals from Carvalho, Damsgaard and Norgard more than enough. Simpson was sent off for Orient in the second half for a ridiculous challenge. His second yellow. Could have been more. Brentford ease through. They've won 3-1.
Manchester United now lead Barnsley 7-0. Commentary of that is on Sports Extra. Full time also in the League Cup at Deepdale. Betty Glover.
And it's going to penalties here, because at full time it's finished Preston 1, Fulham 1. Preston opened the scoring despite Fulham's dominance with the Ryan Ledson strike. Fulham equalised in the second half though through Reece Nelson, his first start and first goal for the Arsenal loanee. Fulham huffed and puffed, poster chances, but they just couldn't get the winner. Shootout we go. Preston 1, Fulham 1.
I know you're wondering about this, Stephen, but 6 of the 9 penalties were either missed or saved between Stoke and Fleetwood.
I appreciate that.
It's
Thank
all
you.
right. Let's get news of that Manchester United goal, Lee Blakeman.
Manchester United 7, Barnsley 0. Ericsson sweeping in his second of the night from the edge of the area into the bottom corner, and we've still got 5 minutes to go. United 7, Barnsley 0.
This is the Champions League on 5 Live and BBC Sounds, also available on Radio Merseyside. Milan are going to make 2 more changes, and we're going to see Gabbia, who is a defender, Mattia Gabbia, central defender, and also we're going to see the Swiss international Noah Okafor, who's going to be coming on. But for Milan, with 8 minutes remaining of normal time, they are going to have to, well, they've got a tricky away game at Bayer Leverkusen next up. In fact, they've also got to travel to Real Madrid as well later on in the Champions League campaign. But for Liverpool, I asked Arne Slot about how many points do you think it would be to progress. He just said it's all about winning games at this stage. As Pulisic tries to pass the ball in field. Gravenberch breaks it up, now has Szoboszlai ahead of him. Szoboszlai enters the centre circle. Liverpool 3-1 up, 8 minutes remaining. Bayern Munich 8, Dinamo Zagreb 2. Leroy Sané has scored, and Real Madrid now lead Stuttgart by 2-1. Antonio Rudiger has scored 7 minutes from time. Don't forget, Champions League highlights, BBC One tomorrow, 22:11. Luis Diaz near side, back with McAllister. Liverpool have reasserted themselves here.
Yeah, they have. They just slowed the game down, got a little bit more control in the possession. They've realised that they don't have to go for this. However, they go for it now, and Szoboszlai is in behind.
Szoboszlai hooks it into the penalty area, and Nunez went for the acrobatics, and in the end it was a hooked effort as he dropped to the floor and pulled it wide. So Morata is going to be coming off. He was one of the joint top scorers in the group stages last season with 5 goals in his 6 games. He comes off, and coming on is Okafor, and then Tomori is coming off, and Gabbia replaces him. I wouldn't be surprised if that's with the Milan derby in mind at the weekend. Let's get an update on that penalty shootout at Goodison. Charlie Slater.
Where Lindstrom scores off the post to make it 4 penalties apiece. Perfect so far. Nobody is yet to blink, and it's now Southampton who will take the next spot kick, with Joe Aribo coming forwards. As it stands, Southampton 4, Everton 4 on penalties.
In the 2 giant screens in the corner, hanging from the concrete cylinder structures that of course define this iconic stadium, it says 125 always Milan, because December the 16th 2024 they'll be celebrating 125 years of history from when Herbert Kilpin, who was born in Nottingham, the son of a butcher, founded this club back in 1899. They have so much history in this competition, but it's not going to be a winning start for their 125th anniversary as they trail 3-1. Reinders with a shot, blocked inside the penalty area, comes out to Teo Hernandez, who fizzes it wide. Hit it first time, left-footed down into the ground, zipped across the surface, out for a goal kick, as a number of Milan supporters are now drifting towards the exits.
What a block from both Konate and Van Dijk. Get themselves out, make sure that they don't allow AC Milan to get back in this game. And then it ricochets out to Teo Hernandez, who strikes the ball wide. I'm just thinking of the goals that Harry Kane scored tonight. He scored 4, has he? in that game. I was just checking who'd scored the most goals in a Champions League game.
It's 5, isn't it?
Yeah. Can you name them?
Yeah.
You can come back to me whenever you want.
Erling Haaland was the last to score 5.
Yeah.
There's only about 4 players, isn't there? Yeah. I've got to go to Charlie Slater in the meanwhile, penalty shootout.
We are in sudden death. Both sides completed and converted all of their penalties, and now in sudden death, James Bree puts it into the bottom corner of the net and sends the Everton goalkeeper the wrong way. Ashley Young now steps forwards and he must score.
Ball over the top, goalkeeper comes out, substitute goalkeeper Torriani flags up anyway to beat Nunez. Adriano another.
Well done, I didn't think you'd get that one.
Yeah. How many more have we got to get?
I think it's 2 off the top of my head.
Right.
Off the top of my Google head.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, can I phone a friend? 4 minutes remain, Liverpool lead 3-1. Full time at Goodison.
And Southampton are through. Ashley Young has had his penalty saved, pushed onto the post, and so Alex McCarthy is the hero. More misery for Everton and for Ashley Young and certainly Sean Dyche. Southampton are through. The game finished 1-1 and it's finished 6-5 on penalties.
Messi has to be another.
Correct.
3-1 to Liverpool, 3 minutes remaining. Simicast with a throw on this near side to Luis Diaz, and it will be Emerson with a throw. Is taken too quickly. Referee here is coming across. Diaz was just caught at the base of the back. He's gone down. Fofana, who has been booked already, the referee just saying it's all right. But been very professional, this Liverpool performance.
Yeah, I think there'll be moments in the game which Arne Slot will be disappointed about, where AC Milan have got too much possession and counter-attacked at times when it's just a misplaced pass or a sloppy pass from Liverpool players. But I'm nitpicking, I really am. I think it's been, from 15 minutes onwards, this has been extremely professional from Liverpool.
Milan, Okafor picks it up with pace, runs, gets away from 2 Liverpool players, out to Pulisic, right-hand side of the penalty area, trailing 3-1. Emerson, the substitute, with the cross, comes off the head of Van Dijk, and then Gomez took a deflection, but Gomez has already swiveled his upper part of his body, and it went off to his right-hand side behind for a corner kick, which has been taken. Cross comes in from Hernandez. Gabia is up from the back. He heads it off target, and it will be a goal kick. Liverpool 3-1. Let's get an update on that penalty shootout at Deepdale. Betty Glover.
It's currently 3-3 in the penalties. Alex Iwobi just about to take the 4th penalty for Fulham, and he does, straight into the back of the net. Great penalties taken from all 7 players so far. Preston just about to try for their 4th.
So we've already seen Southampton triumph on penalties, Stoke triumph on penalties. That one at Deepdale is ongoing. Aston Villa back in Europe's elite competition for the first time since 1983, made a winning start, 3-0 in Switzerland. Liverpool now here leading 3-1 against Milan. Manchester City against Inter tomorrow, another intriguing game live on 5 Live. Atalanta Arsenal on Thursday night, spread over 3 nights. Every game on BBC 5 Live. Full time at Old Trafford in the League Cup. Lee Blakeman.
Easy for Manchester United. 7-0 winners against Barnsley. 2 for Rashford, 2 for Garnacho, 2 for Eriksen, and a penalty won and scored by Anthony. The difference in the end. Manchester United 7, Barnsley 0.
Now Bayern Munich are now leading Dinamo Zagreb 9-2. And you've asked me a quiz question. I think that's the first time a team has scored 9 goals in the Champions League.
When today?
Because Liverpool hold the record, don't they, with 8-0 against Besiktas?
Yeah, the most goals in a game was 8-2.
7-4.
Oh, yeah.
Borussia Dortmund, Legia Warsaw.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. Wow.
I don't know how I remember that. I can't remember the shopping list when the wife sends me to the supermarket. And yeah, I can pick that one out. Here is Leao, 3-1 for Liverpool. Out it goes to Theo Hernandez. Cross takes the deflection. Konate sliding back does ever so well. So that is the joint most amount of goals in the Champions League, 11. As here is Darwin Nunez, out to Salah, Salah right corner of the area. Salah enters the box. Salah looks for a shooting opportunity, gets it away left-footed, blocked. Milan had about 4 players back, picked up by Gomez, delivers the cross over the head of Nunez, and there's going to be 6 minutes of added on time, which we're now into. But it's just a formality, this, as Tsimikas will shoot. Did it take a deflection on its way through? No, it'll be a goal kick. The Liverpool players certainly thought so, but it won't be a corner. And there are now so many empty seats around San Siro.
Well, they obviously don't believe that their team are going to get back into this game, and I can't say it myself. I thought there was a reaction when the substitutes came onto the pitch, but then Liverpool weathered that storm, and now they're dominating the ball again, and we are going to see Chiesa, albeit it'll be 6 minutes of added time if he gets on the pitch anytime soon.
And also Endo is going to be coming on as the strains of You'll Never Walk Alone being sung by that strong travelling support high up away towards our left-hand side. And Federico Chiesa will get a run out, as will Wataru Endo, who came on for his only appearance for Liverpool in the 89th minute against Brentford at Anfield in the Premier League. He's made a couple of appearances for Japan this season, indeed scored in the 7-0 win against China during the recent internationals. As Milan with Hernandez, far side to left, cuts it back, Leao edge of the area. Gravenberch was fouled by Leao. Let's go back to Deepdale, Betty Glover.
It is 6-6 here, so we're in sudden death. I don't think this is ever going to end. Fulham's penalty up next. It's Emile Smith-Rowe that is stepping up to take it. The ball's on the spot. I'll let you know what happens. Come back to me.
OK, thank you, Betty. So Endo's going to be coming on. Mo Salah is the player who's going to be coming off. And also we're going to see Federico Chiesa coming on, as McAllister is the other player coming off. So Federico Chiesa, who they signed from Juventus, Arne Slot's first signing as Liverpool manager, makes his Liverpool debut. The former Juve player who plied his trade in Turin makes his Liverpool debut in Milan, and he takes up a position over on that right-hand side for what will probably amount to about 3 or 4 minutes of added on time, and straight away the ball is launched towards the Italian international as Bayern Munich 9, Dinamo Zagreb is a full-time score. The substitute goalkeeper Torriani clears under pressure from Chiesa. Reinders now for Milan. Go on then, put me out of the misery. Who's the other player who got the 5 goals?
No, that was it. I was just letting you swear.
Oh, I got them all right?
Yeah. I was thinking, was Ronaldo one? And I don't think he was.
Here is Emerson, stopped by Luis Diaz, making the changes, keeping things ticking over. As then Milan get the ball back. Abraham coming back after that ACL. Oh, he reacts angrily to Endo's challenge, pushes him in the chest, and then an accusing finger is being pointed in the direction of the Japanese international. It's a free kick to Milan. They're trailing by 3 goals to 1, but we have about 2 minutes of normal time remaining.
Just trying to see what Tammy Abraham is so furious about with Endo. There's a replay of it. There was nothing in it at all, just pure frustration from Tammy Abraham.
Even when they're 3-1 down, there's still a great noise from a half-empty San Siro. Cross curled in. 2 players went for the same ball, 2 central defenders, Gabbia and Pavlovic. Drops inside the penalty area. Gabbia is there once more. Liverpool still defending stoutly, get it away. Headed back then by Fofana. Cleared up in the air by Endo. 3 against 2, bouncing ball. Nunez throws himself at it. Loose ball picked up by Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai now towards Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz away from one challenge, enters the penalty area. Fofana comes back at him again, holds off Diaz. Nunez takes it away from the keeper, who dives at his feet, shoots, almost beats him inside the near post. But there was Torriani to make the save.
Oh, why is he shooting? The pass is Chiesa. Chiesa's got the opportunity to have a shot at an open goal, and he wastes it again, Darwin Nunez, after doing so well, reading the situation, getting in front of the substitute goalkeeper Torriani. And then it's just so greedy from the Uruguayan forward.
Real Madrid are now leading Stuttgart 3-1. It's finished in Lisbon, Sporting 2, Lille 0. So that will give us the full picture on this first day of 3 of the Champions League in its new revised format, and Liverpool off to a winning start, as here is Luis Diaz, because by my watch the 5 minutes of added on time are up. Oh, there was 6, so we've got another 60 seconds as Tsimikas. That's why we're still playing then.
Your maths is going well tonight, isn't it?
To be fair, I'm pleased my memory recalls is sharp. I'm unable to spot that when you're putting your 6 digits up, that I can't spot the ball, but apart from that, we're not doing too bad. As the Liverpool supporters have been told that they'll have to wait a period of time for their own safety, which is a matter of course when you're travelling away in Europe. Real Madrid have won by 3-1 incidentally, so the 15 times winners, beating their German opposition, who are back in the Champions League for the first time in 14 years. As here is Pulisic. Seems a long time ago now that he gave Milan an early lead here in San Siro. Abraham tries to get away from Endo, threads the forward ball. Okafor tried to let it run through, blocked by the legs of Konate. Milan quickly win the ball back in the midfield. Fofana, Liverpool still working hard, and now picked up by Chiesa. Forward ball to Szoboszlai, just couldn't nick it past Pavlovic, and Milan get the ball back inside that centre circle, and now they look to try and release Leao, and Leao's into the penalty area. Leao looks for a shooting opportunity. Alisson pushed it onto the post.
Wow, what a save from Alisson. Had to be at his best. Concentration levels, he's been quiet all game, but then when called upon, he makes a big save at the end of the game.
Well, there is the full-time whistle. The points were already safe, really. It would have been immaterial, but nevertheless, Alisson makes a good save. That's what Leao is capable of. But there are whistles here from the Milan supporters, because it has been an indifferent start under Paulo Fonseca, beaten at home as Liverpool maintain their 100% winning record in San Siro, coming from behind to ensure it's a happy 46th birthday for Arne Slot. 3-1, Stephen Warnock.
Very professional from Liverpool. Suffered early on in the game for the first 15 minutes, punished after 2 minutes when Pulisic put them ahead, but from 15 minutes on, so professional. They got a foothold in the game. Tactically, Slot changed things, and the possession that Liverpool had was dominant. They opened AC Milan up at will, created so many opportunities. Salah crashed the crossbar a couple of times, but then Liverpool got complete control of the game, going 3-1 ahead, and the game just never looked in doubt for Liverpool. Very professional on the night.
Very professional indeed, coming from behind after Pulisic had given Milan the lead. Konate's header after 23 minutes brought them level. Van Dijk's header 4 minutes before half-time put them in front. Salah twice hit the crossbar in that first half, and then Gakpo with that third goal midway through the second half. Finished here in Stadio San Siro, AC Milan 1, Liverpool 3.